creates the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. 2 years later, Mr. Warren Buffett came, he said, I put 37 billion for the same foundation. And you have a foundation, private foundation, with a capitalization of almost 70 billion US. They don't spend 70 billion US, but every year they have a budget between 3 to 4 billion US dollars. Do you know the budget of WHO, World Health Organization, is around 1. You have a private actor, private foundation, with a budget 3 times of WHO, the budget of UNICEF, WHO, UNDP, and many international organizations. But it's not only money, it's a structure. It's more than 1,000 people now in Seattle, professional working for Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This is something new. Health in emerging and developing countries is really, really a new challenge. And at the end of this month, I am invited in a conference in Los Angeles about how to use health as a new tool of diplomacy, of relation between countries. Your country. I was invited in a meeting in the beginning of this year by NIH in the level of Mr. Francis Collins, who is #1 of FDA, #1 of CDC, top people, top universities, the advisor of Mr. Obama for health, many, many people. And we heard that United States, within 5 years, they will put 65 billion US for global health. Because this is very important. It changed the relation between countries. And health is a big part of development. But we have to be sustainable for this type of policy. And I know that they have the means to be sustainable. Big change also, because we need some utopia, and we need some very well-defined objectives. You know, I told you South Africa, 2000, 2001, 2000, United Nations, with all the country, MDG, Millennium Development Goals. It's very important because we have to see the target. We have to see the way to reach some objectives. I've decided, you know, eight goals: poverty, hunger, maternal health, child health, combat HIV, TB, malaria, partnership, many. 8. The end will be 2015. I am not sure we will reach the MDG in 2015 because we have only 5 years. But this is very important to put on the agenda of many, many, many countries, this MDG. And we have seen really some progress. And after also another question that I wanted to share with you about growth. Because when you see, and I will give you some data, the reality of emerging and developing countries, one of the solutions is growth. But, okay, growth for which purpose? We need growth. We have seen the crisis we have, and every day, all the economies around the world, they check what will be the growth. But we need growth for what? First, the sustainable growth, and the second one, to bring some human values, to change the situation of many people. When you see I just want to share few words just to tell you in which world we are living when we speak about health. I take just what we call the 3 killers: HIV, malaria, and TB. 6 million deaths per year. Only these 3 diseases. You say, okay, 6 million in one side, and then, okay, but 6 million deaths, it's for each disease, 1 tsunami every month, or 1 Haiti earthquake. Tsunami was 250,000 deaths. Haiti about the same, but it once. But malaria, TB, H1 and HIV is one tsunami every month, every year, next year, following year. This is a reality. This is where we are living. And we have the solution. You know, the big paradox, we have the means. The problem is okay, awareness, the willingness, and political decision. It's why I told you health became a very important political asset. Just these 3 diseases. What can we do? And you say, what also make a pharma industry? Okay, I give you the experience that we have done at Sanofi Aventis, and I have the responsibility of this department. The solution, because we have to be again and again sustainable, is not donation of drugs. Okay, we have to give drug donation for Haiti, for tsunamis, an emergency situation. But donation of drug is not sustainable. What we have to change, and now we are not afraid by this word, is to change the business model. The problem is the business model. And some people are afraid when I say you have to change the business model. We have no choice. We have no choice. We have no choice. Why? Because it will be impossible to have a big blockbuster every year. We need profit. For sure, we are not against, we can conduct such a policy without profit. But we have to change our business model. The growth will come from the south. Where are the needs today? In emerging and developing countries. You have new middle class with some money and more. They will need medicine, they will need, but they can pay the price. It's why we have to establish a tiered pricing policy. It is not easy. You are rich, you have the means, you pay. You haven't, no. Different price for the same product. And I will give you a concrete example. You have to know that 80 to 90% of the worldwide population, they have to pay for health. No social security, no private insurance, nothing. With the income of 2 or 3, in the sub-Saharan Africa, the population, they pay $2 per year and per person for health. 2 pills of aspirin. This is a reality. We have to find solution. This is the heart of the debate. And I told you by chance, it was not the case 15 years ago, money exists. Money exists for malaria, money exists for TB, money exists for HIV, money exists for some other neglected diseases. New partnership is key, is strong awareness, and we will improve the situation. Even the immunization rate about vaccination is so important. Vaccination through Gavi, Global Alliance for Vaccine and Immunization, paid a big part by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We improve a lot the rate of immunization in developing countries. But we have to maintain this pressure. And for example, last meeting, Bill Gates, he says that he will put, during 10 years, 100 million US for immunization on the table. 1 billion. In 10 years. But this is very important because immunization is to prepare the future. It's something sustainable. I come back to the title of your conference. We have decided, what we have decided to do in my department. We have decided to work on malaria, TB, sleeping sickness, leishmaniasis, but also I put 2 chronic diseases. Because when we speak about developing country, we say, okay, it's infectious diseases, communicable diseases, okay, but also chronic diseases. Take 2 examples, epilepsy and mental health. You have the same amount of people with epilepsy in the south and in the north. And if you take chronic psychosis, schizophrenia, is the same in 1% of the population in the north or in the south. But who cares about psychiatry in developing countries? Have you seen what they call a psychiatric hospital in Africa? You cry. It's a jail. You don't want to bring some photo. Nobody cares. No money exists.